discussion on a couple of topics that concern your education and your future. We're lucky again to have these wonderful girls from America with us, each who've gone through different kinds of school, different styles of education in America. They've then gone on to pursue university and some of the master's degrees. So we're going to begin just by talking about a topic that is relevant to today's education. It wasn't as relevant when I was in school as it is today, but these guys all lived through, some of them through transition, others through full implementation. But the topic is going to be about technology and school versus merely textbooks in school. And we want to look at benefits and drawbacks to the technology versus textbook only, printed material only. So, does anybody have any thoughts on the role that technology plays for you today in the 21st century school? Yeah, if you want to, or you can just sit there. You can just sit. It's fine.
So, we all know that technology is all around us. Technology has had a great impact in the environment. The advance of technology causes many people use apps such as Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Google, etc. These apps are beneficial because they provide a group of learning and socialization. But we know that technology is in our daily life, even in school. In school, we use it in forms like computers, tablets, maybe cell phones if they're allowed. But are tablets better than textbooks, and should they be replaced by them? To be honest, for learners, the textbook is one of the most important source of contact they have with the language. Textbook is only as good as the teacher who uses it. And if you want to learn something and have more information, you really should have consider more textbooks than tablets.
Who would rather look at a book? Who would rather look online or look in a computer? Who would rather look at a book? Who would rather look at a computer screen?
Let's say it's easier for me to find information or find the texts that I need to read. Whilst in the book, I need to just like flip the pages around or find the proper book to read about the information I want to learn.
I think that if you read books, the brain it's more active, yeah. And that's why we should read textbooks because they help us grow our thought. They make us think with textbooks more than the internet.
Textbooks online are easier to update, so information around us is constantly changing. And in a textbook, when it's printed, you can't change it. You have to rewrite an entire book to update it. And so because information around us is changing so quickly, electronic versions of textbooks or information or articles would be easier to update and get the latest information and truth.
I think that reading the book, feeling it in your hand is a natural feeling that you can feel using the screens or your cell phone, and I think that reading books is better than digital ones.
Yeah.
Well, I think personally that it depends on the situation, because if you only want to search something, it's way complicated to search it in books, so read all the pages and then you won't find it. But in the internet it's way easier because you can just type a keyword and you find the whole information. But as I said before, it depends from the situation, because if you really want to read something just for fun, of course that book will give you more emotion.
The internet has so many more resources that a single book does, and it's easier to update them. That is so true, and that is why for the majority of my college career I looked online for resources. But something bad because of that was my eyes. They got progressively worse every year, and so at the 4 years in college, every year I'd go get my eyes checked, and it was a result of my screen time, and because I had spent so much time reading books on my computer screen and on a tablet, that caused my eyes to worsen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to support the idea that you gave because I always think that one of the drawbacks of technology or digital books is the damage that it has on our health, not only eyes, but when we see like technology and digital textbooks encourage that, and that is not something we should learn to the new generation. The new generation should be taught to read books and feel them, and not do something that is faster, but it won't have the same, let's say, effect on their health and their life.
Technology is definitely more efficient, wouldn't you say? You want to find something out, you click it in, and you've got it. However, you have to consider the source. Yeah. How do you determine whether what you're finding in technology is reliable or completely, as some might say, fake news?
You can't always trust that. Obviously, and there are opinionated books as well, but I think it's, Barry made a good point, it's very important to do your research on who's presenting the information, whereas if I was talking to Sarah in a conversation in the classroom, I could directly talk from personal experience, like a first-hand witness to something, and that might be a lot more beneficial than somebody's skewed version on the internet.
How many of you have ever been distracted by your own tech in a classroom? Tell me what happened, Elise.
We were presenting in Albanian language a project about our famous writers, and my group charged me to see if we had any mistakes or anything, and I started playing Counter-Strike.
I think something also important to think about as far as distractions go, and this goes kind of back to health in general, and I know Hannah brought up physical health, but a lot of times when we do have those distractions, our mental health can be affected. And I know there have been times when I've been distracted on my phone and it's caused me anxiety. And then I'll jump back to reality and be like, oh, what's going on? What did I miss? What's happening? And my brain kind of goes into hyperdrive. So that's another really important topic to think about when we discuss these types of things.
I think a good balance would be no phones in the classroom, like not allowed at all, but then if there are tablets, supplies in the class, that they can use those for times when they need to do research online, but solely just use those for the research, and they're kept in a certain part of the classroom.
No phones, only school-authorized devices that are limited in connectivity to specific.
I think that we should use our tablets or mobile phones in our class when we need a certain information to find it faster than in textbooks, but we should use more textbooks to learn something from them and to read from them, but not read from tablets, just to find information.
And that would be really good, because the students would learn with their books and the teacher would explain all the lesson and stuff. But if the teacher thought that it would be very good to search more information about things that it's not in the book currently, they can search it.
We don't even know what technology is going to be here when you're in grade 12.
You know, if your phone's distracting you, delete the apps that are distracting you. Turn on silent the notifications that are, messing with you. Flip the internet off. Like, we have control of our device, and we also have control of our textbooks. I can't tell you how many textbooks I bought in college because sometimes the professors wouldn't use the textbooks, and we had 400 pages of reading online, so it wasn't like you wanted to open a textbook at the end of the day. So I bought a textbook and it just sat there. So like, what good is that doing? But they're both tools, and they both come from the same sources. They both come from other humans.
I guess that means we have to embrace technology, but do so with certain rules and regulations that will keep it as a tool to progress your education rather than something that will distract.
We would turn off the data on our cell phones, and so we just had to use the Wi-Fi that the school provided. They blocked Instagram, they blocked Facebook, and they blocked other social networking that were distracting for us. So we were only able to use like the Google search engine and other like encyclopedia apps. And I think that was really effective. That was in 2010 to 2014, so that was a little bit ago, but it worked pretty well.
And I will say I substitute taught in a private school right before I left to come on this trip for middle and high school, and you don't even notice, but they never talk about their clothes because they're all wearing uniforms. So it's about other things rather than, wow, you look so cute today, or oh, where did you get that? How much did that cost? It was never talked about because they all had the same thing on, so nobody cared.
We only have like a t-shirt as a uniform, 2 kinds of them. So not all our creativity is limited or put in a box. Because schools always say that you should think outside of the box, but in the end they limit you and they put you in this box and they make you do it, so they contradict themselves. But I think, good point. So I think the good thing about this school is that it only has a uniform as a t-shirt, but there are other schools that have pants never have. That's a very good thing, especially for your personality that is growing and you cannot do anything.
You get more respect when you teach in universities because people are more serious about their education.
I think that sometimes we just misunderstand the authority of teachers, because sometimes when they tolerate us, they are also being respectful for us, but we just use it in our point of view. So we just use it for ourselves and not for the teacher too. And sometimes we don't really respect her as she does with us. And it also happens in our school. There is a teacher that always tolerates us, and in every single class she's not respectful at all. But there are also teachers who are like harsh with us, talking in a tone, in a voice that not other teachers talk to, and we're just like afraid of her, but it doesn't mean that we respect her, but they think that we respect them.
What is your vision for your education as well as for the development of the school?
I also think like Sarah, we have many different opportunities here, and I also think it's very special that we learn different lessons also in English, because we can speak better in different languages.
I think that the school also, as Sarah said, has given us a lot of opportunities in life. And one great thing is that teachers here are very demanding and patient with students. And they are good listeners to them, but also another great thing is that English and foreign languages are required, and with professional teachers. And this is a very nice thing because from foreign languages you learn about a new culture. And
We've got 4 years to implement some things. If you're interested in those, we can look at proposals and, you know, like yearbooks, newspapers, different clubs. I'm not the person that makes those decisions. I'm not the person that makes those things happen. But in reality, you are the people that will make those things happen. I look around this room and I say that the future of Reza Drita has a lot of promise. And you guys just need to apply yourselves and be the best that you can be. And the reputation of the school is going to go up, and you're going to have good lives.
Amen.
All right? All right. Well, have a great day. You can make it. Chat with the girls for a few minutes and then we'll head out.